lot of players really played well.
Let's check out some impact players presented by Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. Taylon Ballard-Nixon led the way with 14 kills and an ace for BYU.
Yeah, she was pretty good there on the outside for BYU, really not losing a step. She had a great senior season this past spring, now comes back for an extra one and has just continued to develop those shots on the outside. Her decision making looked great, her high contact, she had a lot of nice angles. She provided a really nice outlet for BYU.
Now she's a super senior. Long Island took on UNLV, and UNLV won that in 3. BYU and UNLV tomorrow night here on BYU TV, but Long Island hoping to hit better than 0-8-0.
Right, and I think for Long Island, they just wanted to come into this environment and play tough and work hard and learn about themselves and kind of set the benchmark for where they want to be at the end of their season. They always do well in their conference, and they plan on being there at the end as well.
Fifth-year senior Jovana Stekovic from Serbia will be a key for the Sharks.
Stekovic, a big outside hitter for them as well. She's got a live arm, she hits really well, and she's going to be challenged, especially to swing high and hard because this BYU block is very, very big.
All right, third member of the broadcast team roaming courtside is Kiki Solano.
Jerem, both these teams have already played today. That can be a lot on them physically. And talking with BYU players, that's the biggest difference between today and a normal game day. They've already done a lot of hitting. Their bodies have already hit the floor a lot. So it really was a priority for them to take time to recover, to make sure their bodies feel good coming in here tonight. But regardless of all of that, they're really excited to play in these 2 games that happened today because, well, we have fans back in the Smith Fieldhouse, and they have been waiting for that to happen. The crowd in and of itself brings an added energy to this BYU team.
Thank you, Kiki. You are absolutely right. And this student section, the Roar of the Cougars Rock, has really brought it in the pregame. My goodness. We had a tremendous anthem, and here we are ready to play the game. The keys to the game are presented by Tim Daly Nissan.
Well, and I think for Long Island, coming in serving seams, right? It's the first matches of the season. You're going to get a lot of miscommunication between these new players who aren't used to passing next to each other. So make them talk, make them make decisions. Also play with confidence. You're coming into this environment, enjoy it. Enjoy the crowd, enjoy the ability to compete and just go out there and give everything on the floor. For BYU, execute at a high level, just consistent execution in their incredible offense. They've got to keep it rolling regardless of what the score says, and lots of talk. Anytime you've got any new players on the floor, you want to be especially verbose until you get super comfortable next to each other. You've got to talk.
Those keys are presented by Tim Daly Auto Group, serving Utah since 1968. Let's check out some starters, beginning with Long Island, presented by Intermountain Healthcare, keeping the Cougs healthy as the official sports medicine provider for BYU Athletics. 8-6 in the spring, played in the NCAA tournament because Sacred Heart had a COVID issue. So actually played against Pitt. So Nova, Roulet, Strongland, Berg, Stekovic we mentioned, Malice, and Scott. Ken Coe is the head coach. He used to be an assistant at Florida and San Francisco. So San Francisco, he knows what this gym and BYU is all about. Let's check out the BYU starters. WCC champs to the Sweet 16 last year. Same group that started earlier today. Livingston, Allen, Knighting back from a mission. Eschenberg, Kerber, the transfer from Utah who's a multi-year All-American. What an ad she is. Bauer and Reiner. Heather Olmstead, winningest coach in volleyball by percentage. Now 162 and just 20 losses in 7 seasons. Just incredible. BYU switching up the jerseys to the short sleeve white shirt. Had the long sleeve white earlier today, so a little cooler. But the energy in the building, as Kiki talked about, is tremendous. This crowd is probably pushing 3,000 plus in here tonight. This is the most in 2 years, obviously, with the spring season. It was limited to families and some fans. But this is awesome. And like we saw last night at Southfield, as seen here on BYU TV and women's soccer, 5,400 fans. We're experiencing a similar output of an awesome crowd here tonight.
Yeah, and I think everyone's feeling it, right? This is not, although BYU usually in a normal season will get this kind of crowd, it's been a while. And so for every single player on the floor, you've got to feel that electricity and that extra energy.
Yeah, a little more bounce in the step, perhaps, on the vertical.
Yeah, maybe some serves hitting the back wall because they've just got a little bit more energy than usual.
The Cougars now 34-7 in season openers after the sweep earlier today since 1981. So things going well. Now to the second match, LIU looking to pull off the upset. And like you mentioned, Kenko brought his group into this tournament to play some quality competition, to play BYU, and to take this in, because when you're playing in the Northeast Conference, you're not going to see this kind of environment, so you've already been in something tougher.
Yeah, exactly. And if you know where you want to be at the end of the year, then you look and see, hey, let's see where we want to be. Let's play the best so that we know in practice we don't ever get comfortable because we've seen where we want to be.
You wonder how juiced, anybody gets in this environment, let alone young adults. Kiki Solano's got more on Heather Olmsted's message to the team.
The players actually turned to the rock in their players' first huddle with Heather Olmsted, looking at the rock almost in amazement that they had this opportunity to play in front of a crowd again. Coach Olmsted told them to stay calm, to still play their game, because they really are just so excited. It's very evident. Jerem?
Well, they're not the only ones. We don't have to be calm, so that's the exciting part. We can be crazy. Thank you, Kiki. We appreciate it. Crowd getting into it. Let's go. LIU trying to get some juice as well. We're in the blue. And look at that crowd. My goodness. Let's go. A Friday night in Provo in the Smith Fieldhouse is always special. Here we go. Tonight's officials. Miley Jukes up top. Downstairs, Kaylin Cragen. BYU, a winner earlier today, as mentioned, against Southern Utah, Long Island. Swept by UNLV. Let's see what happens in match 2 of the season on BYU TV. Bauer high for Kerber. She's dug up nicely. Off the block and out of bounds. A nice start for Carolina Nova from the Czech Republic.
That transition defense is going to be so big for both these teams, getting those digs and then turning around offensively, getting the point.
Maddie Allen on the overpass. Free ball opportunity for Malice. Dug up. Right side swing from Livingston. Again back over and tipped, and 2 for 2 now for Nova.
Nova from the Czech Republic has a lot of great control. She makes good decisions on the outside, can really see the defense.
Bauer, high for Livingston. Tip, off the block and down, and BYU gets his first point on the hit off Scott. And our first sub is Taylor Hifo will come into the match to serve.
And off speed, we've seen a few off speed shots for BYU in these to get that first kill, just, not finding their groove yet offensively.
Draw that passer up a little closer. Malice missed it, but bumped over. And then Eschenberg, good touch in the middle by Strongman. Kerber down the line. Kenzie Kerber. There was some good energy at the match earlier today, but it pales in comparison to what we're feeling. This is a real match with real fans and real juice. It's total. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times now, but there is a palpable difference here.
Well, and there's the big point there, right? These teams played in the spring, and they had to create everything on their own, right?
Yep. Everything
was their own energy. They created it. They did a nice job turning to each other, showing emotion. But now you just quadruple that. And it's going to be interesting to see how these players, especially players that play with a lot of energy, like Kerber, who really feed off the crowd.
Kaylin Ballard-Nixon with the kill. That ace a moment ago, brought to you by Perche Bridal, Utah's luxury bridal boutique featuring a full-service hair and makeup salon, your one-stop shop for full bridal styling. Learn more at perchebridal.com. Kaylin Ballard-Nixon back for her super senior year. And 4-2 BYU, a 4-0 run by the Cougars. Big block by Kerber and Eschenberg, free ball. Center-to-center connection, and the set two-handed by Bauer, and BYU is 5 in a row.
And Bauer establishing that she's an offensive threat as well. What that does is that makes defense have to stay a little more set. They've got to watch her longer, and they can't switch to their hitters. So that'll open up the hitters on the outside.
Strongman blocked. Scott with the cover, and then off the block of Taylor Ballard-Nixon, and that's from the back row right there. Nice swing from
Yeah,
Nova.
and you saw Heather Olmsted kind of say, hey, you know, you have to make a decision out of the back row. A lot of times when you jump, you're more of a blocking liability. Unless the player out of the back row is hitting at such a huge velocity, you want to stay down and let your defense handle it.
Correction, that was Stekovich. The tip from Kennedy Eschenberg, who was 5 for 6 in the match earlier today.
You see how Bauer not afraid to go, especially to Eschenberg, in those out-of-system plays. See how far off the net Bauer was, but Eschenberg opens up, stays away from her, and gives her a good look so she can get that ball over.
Reminds me of you in the 90s, right? Just any shot, be ready. Miscommunication there. Strongman was like chicken winged it up. Was that for me? It seemed like she was asking. 7-3.
Well, and there's the right now for Long Island, this is how quickly a game can get away from you, especially with a crowd, right? You look up and it's like, oh, we were in this, and now all of a sudden we're down 4. So they've got to reset, find a way to kind of relax and slow the game down.
Heather Knighting keeps the perfect day going. 6 for 6 now. The return missionary from Seattle, Washington, gone for 18 months for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She got back in July. It's not often you just jump in the next month into a college sport, let alone start, but here she is.
Right, 6 weeks.
Crazy. One transfer, if you will. 8-3, Maddie Allen still there, free ball. Sent over from Maria McComber, Washington State transfer. Bauer with another dig. There's Kerber, the lefty, past the block. Scott with the bump set backwards, tipped across, Ballard-Nixon with the easy dig. Kerber through the block, 9-3.
You feel the pressure on those Long Island middles, right? Going antenna to antenna, back and forth and back and forth. Eventually you're going to be a little late like that, and that's when the seam opens up and BYU gets you.
Kerber hit 176 in the first match earlier today, 2 for 4 so far, and the Cougars up big in set 1, hitting 636. Called Opine. There'll be some questions, some we talk about, others that'll just be on the screen throughout the broadcast that you can weigh in on and interact with us in the broadcast throughout the night. That young guy's got a cougar tail, and that is one happy young man. If you don't know what a cougar tail is, perhaps you're a Long Island Shark watching. It's a giant maple bar, like 18 inches. It's incredible.
And only the guts of 10-year-old kids can handle
that sugar amount.
Yeah.
9-4. It's not even been attempted by anyone over 10 since 1987. 9-4. Set 1. BYU up on the Long Island Sharks out of Brooklyn. Heather Knighting. Oh, just riding that wave of spiritual momentum from the Mish.
Well, and the thing for Knighting is in the first match against SUU, every single one of her kills were behind the setter on the slide, kind of her comfort zone right there. And here she is again showing she's got range, right? She's hitting threes, 3 feet away from the setter, right on top of the head.
10-4, good buddy. Oh, the diving dig, but then sent over wisely and quickly by the freshman, Rumor Roulette from Tucson. Good read, 10-5.
And for Long Island, it's just keep fighting, right? Keep searching for those holes in the defense. There's one right there, right? That tip right over the net. Long Island continues to learn, make adjustments, and really behind the service line need to go lights out. Just disrupt these passers.
Ellie Mers, right at Allen. Perfect pass, the dump from Whitney Bauer. Whitney Bauer getting the love from the teammates. She's been aggressive at the net, a couple dumps so far.
She is, and if you're a setter and you're going to call your own number, you have to get the kill 1,000% of the time, right? There's no room for, oh, you have to, right? Because then the rest of the team's like, hey,
yeah,
you should have set me.
Feed me, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to make your choices smart.
She was 3 for 6, Whitney Bauer, in the first match. She's got a, she's 2 for 2, 1,000. So to the Amy Gant standard. No, I
perfect. My poor kids.
I agree with you. Got to do it right. Roulette with the kill. 11-6. Crowd imploring BYU here. Stekovich back to serve, the grad transfer. or excuse me, the graduate student from Serbia. Kerber off hands and off Scott. Kenzie Kerber 3 for 5.
And you talk about what Kerber brings to this floor. Obviously, she's a very powerful left-handed hitter. In the front row, she's going to put up a big block. She hits high. She does a nice job, running the floor. But in the backcourt, she passes, she plays defense, and she is that outlet out of system that BYU needs when they need a kill, and it's a tough play.
That one goes a bit long from Celine Mukura, the 6'7" freshman from Rwanda, who actually went to Layton Christian Academy in Utah. So welcome back to Mukura. I know she has some friends in the stands.
Yeah, and for Long Island, they had a lot of returners, but they have some new players as well, just an absolute ton of new players on the floor that are learning the system. This is their first ever Division I experience, which everyone remembers, right? Because you're always kind of reeling a little bit, and then to play in this environment with this crowd is definitely spectacular, but also jarring.
Heather Knighting from Pleasant Grove into the net. Her dad, Tom, played basketball here at BYU, the 2018 ABCA National Freshman of the Year. Part of that 31-2 Final Four BYU team. Third team All-American that year. Also played on the college national team in Japan, coached by one Heather Olmstead. Kerber, the Bick. You don't see it a ton, and when it happens, it's awesome.
Well,
Kerber right there.
And that play in general is so good because you saw the pass right there from Gretchen Reiner, another transfer, right, from Santa Clara, and she was able to get that pass up to the net, and that ball control is what BYU needs as well.
Ace from Whitney Bauer, the junior from Nampa, Idaho, 2020 West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year, Setter of the Year, first teamer. She's a frequent contestant in wild turkey calling contests. That's not a joke. She has this little instrument she uses. Her family loves to hunt. I asked her about it. She said it's true, because I was like, is this true? She's like, oh yeah.
I think when she was younger, she wanted to be a taxidermist as a profession.
She's given up on that dream?
I think that's changed, but
oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe not.
There's Erin Livingston. Mukura had a pretty good lane open there, did not find it. 17-7. It was 2-0 Long Island. And that's a nice swing to the deep corner. No one dug it up.
Right, location-wise, that's where you got to go because defensively, no one's going to block. Honestly, BYU should have dug that ball, but I think because so deep along that back line, that's where you're going to find an opening.
Maddie Allen on the Ainsley Malice service. Scott, Defensive Player of the Year in the Northeast Conference last year. Through the antenna, point BYU 18-8. Well, for a minute, LIU was hitting 300, and now it's down to 105. BYU's hitting 688, no errors, 11 for 16.
And I think all the teams that want to play at a high level, it's about being good over time. How long can you continue to execute, and stay at that high level? Long Island just working really hard, making some good plays, and then just BYU starting to roll and get going.
The stuff block for Taylon Ballard-Nixon, and Kenzie Kerber went to her knees immediately. She was so impressed.
And straight down. Look at that press over the net from Nixon.
Taylon Hefo, who had an ace earlier in the set. Tip. Look at Kerber cover from the far right side all the way to the left. She's getting back to try and block. One-on-one and in. Nice find in the middle for Miranda Strongman.
And I think you can feel what the crowd does is bring more energy to the team on the floor. So they're just going to be running a little quicker, playing at a higher level. You can feel the defense and intensity picking up, which frankly just is more fun to watch.
Nova, really up 10. Eschenberg, oh nice from Scott. You can see why she was the Defensive Player of the Year. She's all over it. Bauer, Eschenberg, Scott again. Great Scott. Nova out. But great cover. Anastasia Scott, the senior from Jacksonville, giving Long Island a fighting chance there a couple times.
Scott, a player that just keeps their team in matches, right?
And a tremendous addition to BYU. She's going to have a fantastic season, it would seem. Three-time All-American at Utah. made the switch from crimson to blue, and here she sits in her 5th season after a free COVID year at BYU. Playing opposite, big block by Kerber and company for the Cougars. And now you have this interesting dilemma too. You have Kate Grimmer, first team all-conference player, at opposite as well. An embarrassment of riches at that position.
It is, and it's really, really tough to make that decision. It's good, obviously, when you have this incredible talent that can play at any moment and come in and you don't lose a step when you make a sub. But the tricky part is how to utilize both these players, how to get the most out of them. And I think you have that in other positions as well. You talked a lot about these defensive players that have come in. You know, so many new defensive players stepping in, trying to make that move. How do you create a culture that allows everyone to know their role and to really excel in it?
Those liberos as we get to 23-9. Maddie Allen's the starter. Gretchen Reinert, Santa Clara starting libero is here. Aria McComber, Washington State starting libero is here. 3 really good passers to come in on that back row or play libero. Not bad. Set point. And out come the Sharks against the Sharks. They smell blood in the water. It's a tradition that goes back a long ways. In 2018, when Florida was here, they thought the Gator Chomp was being mocked. Oh no. Oh no, it goes much further than that. Kept alive. Oh, and the swing to the back row. And nicely done by Katie Berg. The freshman's like, I'll just throw this out there.
It's high and deep. I think deep really being a spot BYU struggling to cover.
Look at these fans, man. Set point number 2. Kerber. Oh, kept up by Berg. The Scott Sterling, if you will, and off the block. My goodness. Just took it right below the neck.
And
oh no, it was off the forearm. That was a great pass.
Up, straight up, all over it in the transition.
Oh, that was beautiful. Bauer, Kerber. BYU takes set 1, 25-11. A dominating performance, which is the same score BYU beat Southern Utah by in the match earlier today.
Right, but I think unlike that match, BYU maintained their level throughout. They stayed at a high clip. Yes, Long Island kind of fought back and tried to find an opening in the door, but BYU playing very tough this first set.
Kenzie Kerber, 5 kills, hit .556. BYU had 3 ace triple zeros. How do you do that? You have as many kills as errors. That's how that's computed. And then Diggs pretty even. Ace is a little different. Block's a little different. But just offensively, BYU was really smooth.
Yeah, and credit Whitney Bauer, right? Keeping everyone involved, moving the ball around well, making good decisions, and calling her own number occasionally. The passing was in system. And so for Long Island, I think they need to take more chances behind the service line. This is a team that has some very good servers. So they want to really ramp it up. And if you miss a couple, fine. Right? Just really try to disrupt BYU, get them back on their heels.
Let's kick it out to Kiki Solano for more on Kenzie Kerber.
Yeah, Jeremy, you guys talked about the impact Kenzie had in the first set, the impact she had earlier today in the game. But it's more than just what she does on the court. She brings a certain attitude and a certain energy that this team really likes. They describe her as fiery. They say that she's just added a nice spark to this team. Jerem?
She brings the double sleeves, too. We haven't seen double sleeves in a minute, so she also brings that. Let's go. Set 2 underway. BYU up a set in Provo on a Friday night. Big block by Kerber right there again. And you see everyone feed off her energy. Whitney Bauer, to me, is the second most energetic person kind of feeding off that when it happens.
Well, and anyone who watches volleyball knows your best opportunity to give energy to your team is on a block. So you land, you turn, and you really play it up. That gets the crowd involved and the rest of your team.
Long but an ace from Whitney Bauer, who gets another one, make it 2. As a freshman, she had 40 aces and 42 errors. Just an incredible ratio there. Summoning her wild turkey calling experience. Now it's BYU up 2-0. Long Island was up 2-0 in the first set. Now it's 3-0.
And the block for BYU really starting to get going. Aaron Livingston involved as well. These are very tall players, physical players, but also BYU works a lot on their eye work and their positioning. And so for Long Island, they need to raise their sights a little bit. Don't look for seams. Try to go high hands and tool the block.
3-1 now. And after a couple of blocks, Long Island hitting in the negative currently. Crowd making some noise on the serve. And Nova. Gonna be tough, can't keep it in. 4-1.
I think you got to give that up, though. You know, and I'd like to see it a little tougher, but they've got to be more aggressive because BYU right now siding out at such a high percentage that if you just put the ball in play, it's coming right back at you. It's kind of like in the men's game, right?
Yep.
You got to get out there and attack from behind the service line.
Yep, there's a certain amount of failure you'll tolerate. Good eye by Hefo to let that one go. She'll stay at the service line where she's pretty good. 23 aces in 2 seasons off the bench.
So good coming in, and I don't think there's anything harder than coming off the bench and then being forced to serve a tough ball. You're cold, you're not involved, and you've got to just bring it.
Kerber down the line. Our scorebox sponsor is Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. 6 for 10 now.
Kerber really starting to approach with a lot of fire, a lot more energy. You want to find the hot hand when you're a setter. I think Kerber is the player right now.
Berg, Kerber, oh, Hefo dives, and then Maddie Ellen puts it over. What a sequence. And then the slide is blocked. Oh, baby. It started with the defense.
You see the crowd appreciating these great plays. 3 great shots. Hefo, what an up, and then to finish that with a block. Just incredible momentum boost for BYU.
And an ace. And right now, it's getting ugly.
You know,
if you're Long Island.
Yeah, I think call a timeout, right? Let's slow it down. Make BYU regroup a little bit. Right now, they're just riding this huge wave of momentum and tempo. And Long Island not using that opportunity to stop it on a timeout.
8-2, Ken Coe opting to let his team play through it. He did have a long conversation between sets 1 and 2 with Carolina Nova and Jovana Stekovic, 2 of his top hitters, to try and have a new conversation here. Now, a challenge is coming from BYU that was in. So Heather Olmstead did not use a challenge in the first match, and now they're using one now.
And you see her using every opportunity to talk to her team, to continue to coach. You know, this opening season, or this opening weekend, these coaches don't have a ton of stats on their players, obviously, in games. What can you learn from every single play when you notice, you know, what environment your team is and how they react?
Yeah, let's take a look here. Oh, that's so close. I think it's out, but just barely. You're going to have to see definitively that it was in. And that last angle is going to be hard to beat here. I think that's out by just 2 centimeters.
It's very close. I think definitive is your crucial word there, right?
Yeah.
You could look at it and go, yeah, no, that could be in, but it's got to be
you gotta know.
definite.
You got to know. Was that in, yes or no? Weigh in via Opine. You can download the app and engage with us throughout the match. So BYU went to the Sweet 16 last year. Again, it was a 48-team tournament. I don't know why the NCAA didn't just do 64. It didn't really make sense to me to this day, but anyway. 48-team tournament. BYU beats UCLA in round 1, lose to Wisconsin, and then Wisconsin goes all the way to the Final Four. Long Island plays Pitt, who is pretty good as well. BYU's going to Pitt, by the way, which would be a tough match. And BYU returns 6 of those 7 starters. Leilani Dodson transfers to Northwestern. And then Kenzie Kerber transfers down from Utah, which was like, what? BYU's got Kenzie Kerber? This is awesome. And Heather Knighting comes back from a mission. This team got better. They're ranked 15th. It feels like it's a top 10 good team, Amy, that has a chance of doing something special in the postseason.
And I think that's where, you know, we can sit here and look on paper, here's what could happen, but it's still early in the season, and you've got a lot of those moving pieces, but definitely the ceiling, very, very high for this BYU team if they can get things together. But you got to get out there on the floor and do it every day, in and day out in practice.
There is a fly or maybe even a bee, I don't know.
It better be a bee.
It just caused the entire BYU huddle out on the court to flee for a second. They all spread out, fearing getting stung. Yeah, it better be a bee. If that was a fly, come on. Come on, man.
New strategy against the Cougars.
Okay, 78% of you don't think that was in. 22% of you think it was. Okay. Okay, so we'll hear what the call is here. From Kayleen Cragen. Oh, it goes to Long Island. So it stays.
Yeah, it was
Sorry,
out.
not surprised. It stays. Okay, so the 22% of you that said yes, you were wrong.
Or you weren't definitively right.
Or, hey, they didn't have the angle that saw it.
Yeah, what was the eagle eye cam?
Yes, exactly. Good movie. I like that. Shia LaBeouf. Oh, Kerber. She's on fire.
Yeah.
She is on fire right now. 7 for 11. No errors.
And that play right there, right, you see what happens when you have one of those challenges, how it kind of kills all the momentum, and a team has to earn it right back.
Yeah.
What better way to do it than a first ball kill, get the ball back on your side, and continue to fight?
Well, the beat comes through, the adrenaline spikes, and they get re-engaged, right? It was that quick. That ball gets hit out 10-2. Tough times right now for the Sharks, who put up 11 points in the first set, 2 of which were at the very beginning. So it was a 25-9 BYU run to finish. Well, so you're going 35-11 run right now for BYU.
Yeah, and I think as BYU stays in system, they're going to be tough to beat. And so Long Island has to find a way to just get them off balance, get them behind the 3-meter line.
Ballard-Nixon hits off the block of Strongman. And you saw assistant Andy Mueller hop off the bench, and he was yelling at the block, back off, back off. Like Ballard-Nixon is, if it's off the net, she's not going straight down. She's going to go high hands, but it went off the block.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd pull off the net on that, though. Otherwise, your wing blockers are going to be really mad when they get hit in the face.
Stekovic did swing on that one. Approach might have been off. Set might have been out in front of her, but that one goes empty. 12-2. Negative 132 right now for Long Island. Scott. Oh, that's a nice swing from Stekovic because Scott gave it pretty low and fast.
And you saw the block for BYU didn't trust it either. They didn't want to get tooled, so they pulled off completely. But that's what Long Island's been doing. It's not that hard driven, but it's just hitting that back line in a spot that BYU defensively hasn't covered.
Sharks trying to get some momentum here, down 12-3 in set 2. BYU already up a set. Kerber off the block. Blocked for just or dug for just the 4th time, or blocked. Kerber with the dig. Knighting, look out. Double contact, which is her jersey number as well. 12-4, big smile on her face like, I'm not trying that again.
Well, not only the middle going to set the ball, but then to set backwards.
That's aggressive. That's the only thing she's done wrong today, literally.
Give her that.
Yeah. Ballard-Nixon, deep shot. She has developed so much over her career. She's always been physical, but her ability to find the right spot, she touches 10-3. She jumps out of the gym, got the big arm, but she's able to find the right location on the court now.
Yeah, range. Her range is
Thanks
really...
for summarizing that way better than me.
No, I mean, but it takes a while to develop that, right? Because to be a good outside hitter, you have a job to make decisions. Which swing do you use at the right time?
Like that one.
Exactly. Do you always have a kill? No. Sometimes you have to recycle the ball. Sometimes you have to throw the ball deep. You know, and I think that decision making is something that takes years to develop in good outside hitters.
Heather Olmstead told us last year she is unstoppable if she wants to be.
Because
nice to have a player like that.
Yeah, she hits at such a freaky angle, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to dig or block it.
Bauer wins the joust. That's what centers do, man. They just do. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Roulet is 6'4". Bauer, I don't know what she's listed at, but she's got to be like 5'9". wins the joust.
Yeah, and it's who pushes last, right?
She's listed at 5'7". Oh, man. What a play. 15-4. Everything going great for BYU so far.
The physicality, though, of Whitney Bauer, over this past year, she's worked so hard on that. She's always been strong, a very good setter, obviously, but she's put a lot of effort into the offseason, into that physicality, and that shows in how she moves on the floor.
Yes, 15-5.
And how she jousts middles down to their back.
Crazy, right? Heather Knighting with another kill. 3 for 4 now, so she actually got dug up. As Bauer will come out, Bauer stays in, it's McComber who will come out. Kiki Solano has more on Whitney Bauer.
You guys talked about the progress that Whitney has made from her sophomore to junior year. I talked to her about this. She said she still feels like a younger player because she is in perspective with some of the other players, but she definitely feels that she can take even more of a leadership role, voice her opinion a little bit more. She's really comfortable in the position she's at as a junior. Jerem?
Yeah, she reclassified as a senior. Didn't have a senior in high school, just came as a freshman. She's 19 right now as a junior. She doesn't turn 20 until November. So she's still super young, but she's got 2 full years of experience on a top 15 team, which is wild.
Yeah, and that, talking to Coach Olmstead, she said Bauer's just sense of calm on the floor is improved a lot this year as she brings that leadership and that calming influence to the team.
Long rally here. Oh, look at Stekovic and Allen duke it out. Stekovic again getting the bump Bick offering, popped up by Maddie Allen. Still going. Pounded off the block, Livingston. Bauer back to Kerber. Oh, and then blocked and down. Katie Bird finishes things. What a great rally from everybody there.
So long rallies. We get a good look at Maddie Allen, right? Defensively, if you're not going to block, you better pull off and play defense. But Allen is able to pop that ball up. And the back quick, right, is like a quick D ball, just not quite clearing the net, but that's a nice outlet.
Aaron Livingston crushes that one, 17-7.
Bauer really speeding up her offense. That set all the way to the outside for Livingston, a go set. That's going to be so quick that the middle blocker for Long Island can't get out there.
Livingston married to Hayden, who is a safety on the football team, getting ready to play Arizona in 8 days in Las Vegas. 17-7. Stekovic dug up by Kerber. Bauer, Livingston again. Dug up by Nova. Back to Nova. She is blocked, and it goes down inside. BYU all over it. Make it 6 blocks in the match.
And Eschenberg kind of quiet, but she's getting the job done. What you don't see is that she is involved in every single block, that she's reading her eye work. She gets over and seals the court. When she hits the ball, she knows where to swing.
5 is a question you can weigh in on via Opine. Is that a fair ranking for BYU right now, 15?
I think it's a safe ranking, you know, coming out, going to Sweet 16, returning 5 of 6 starters, but then you add all of these different transfers that come in, and what is that going to do? And I think that changes what's going to happen. I think BYU, you know, going through the conference season is going to be interesting because the WCC is really kind of growing as far as being a good conference, but that postseason just changes everything because you really don't know, because they're really not playing any Big Ten, Pac-12 schools to really gauge where they are.
Yes, you have a couple of those opportunities in Pepperdine, San Diego, LMU, who's right in the mix as well. But you're right, there are other conferences certainly stronger. It's pretty good, and it's getting better, like you're talking about. BYU certainly at the helm there as a team that is consistently in the Sweet 16, and a nice swing by Aaron Livingston again. So weigh in, the average was 10 there. You think ranked 10. That's why they should put BYU. I think BYU can climb into that if they continue to add and play like the talent they added to a team that's already ranked 15th. BYU was the 16th seed in the NCAA tournament, so kind of picking up where they left off, if you will. But BYU's obviously better with Knighting and Kerber, so we'll see how much better. Kerber with some good touches. Keep that alive. Allen calls it off. 19-8, set 2. The tip. Oh, look at Kerber again. She's all over the court. Oh, and then they topple over each other, Kerber and Bauer. go flying as that one gets hit out.
Yeah,
Bauer trying to set it while Kerber was in her way.
And that as the whole coaching staff kind of holds their breath. Let's
Yes.
take out Kerber and Bauer in one play.
Up 19-8, not ideal.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going for a championship on this particular play on August 27th. But they don't know any other speed.
Yeah, you got to go after every point. That's how you get to this point. You're just relentless. And I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about Bauer. Remember her freshman year? She's diving into the wall
Yeah.
at like 1-0
Yes.
because she just has this relentless attitude.
Yeah, it's like, take it easy. Off the block. Reiner. Bauer. Nice read by Malice. Nova off the tape. Allen, Bauer, Kerber. Nice stick by Nova. Stekovic. Laranis. Whitney Laranis off the bench to make it happen. That third middle blocker option. 20-9.
Laranis getting up. Whenever your setter is off the net a little bit, you've got to adjust by being further away, getting really open with your arm. Laranis doing that nice job and just trickling it down the front.
BYU in the first match and now this one has needed to wipe the floor more often than I recall in years past. So perhaps they cranked up the humidity. Perhaps they weren't used to so many people in here, and then the body temperatures warm it up a little bit. But everyone in the lather here, physically and emotionally, that volleyball's back, which is exciting. Oh, Maddie Allen. Wow. Ballard Nixon completes it. Maddie Allen for president.
That is a fantastic read because that was a nice shot. You see around the block, it's tough to dig. Look where she's lined up, and she just has to dive into that hard-driven ball. Great defense from Allen, and that's why I like her in there in that libero position, because her defense is just so far above. She's just extra defensively. She sees things, she gets the balls well.
4 digs a set last year. Came in as a volleyball magazine Fab 50. Okay, the key to the game. Execute at a high level. These are what you talked about. Everyone's weighing in. Lots of talk. How would you assess how each team has done on these things so far?
Well, I think you look execute at a high level. Has BYU allowed Long Island into this match at all? Have they opened the door through unforced errors? Have they hit balls out of bounds? No, they've done a really nice job keeping that up. Lots of talk. I think that kind of goes along with it. There's been a lot of different plays there. We haven't seen many miscommunications that we usually see in preseason. And I think for Long Island, they've really tried to stay in this. We haven't seen the wheels come off, but BYU hasn't opened the door. And I think Long Island hasn't been able to serve as aggressive as they need to disrupt the offense for BYU.
Long Island, 2 years ago, rebranded as a university. They were LIU Brooklyn, a Division I school. BYU actually played LIU Brooklyn in basketball 4 years ago in Brooklyn. And then LIU Post. They combined, that was a Division II. It's another one school, Long Island. They went with the Sharks, which is fun. I like that. I like the colors. Looks nice. And here they are.
And if I'm not mistaken, they're adding a men's program, and Sean Patchell will be the inaugural coach for the Long Island men's team.
That's right. Thanks for bringing that up. Former BYU player and head coach here. So, yeah, we'll be paying attention to the Long Island Sharks on the men's side as well, as Kerber gets the block with Laranis. 22-9. So Patchell was at Concordia Irvine, let go after the offseason, but now he's headed to Brooklyn. Now that's a man who will engage in the arts in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
He used to teach English here.
Yeah.
He's going to get after it.
Yeah,
there.
his daughter, Jordan, majored in, museum curating.
Oh,
like, they're
I love it.
super. And his wife, Davis, a tremendous artist. His daughter, Sage, served mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in New York as well.
Well, there you go. It all makes sense now. Hifo with the ace, her second of the match, bringing it off the bench. 23-9 in set 2. Down the line, no touch, set point, and out come the Sharks again.
And BYU doing a tremendous job keeping that pressure on. They're not opening the door.
Hifo into the net. on any jump float, there's always this groan. Oh. Katie Berg, the freshman from Kansas, at the service line. Check that. Corinne Meyer from Muncie, Indiana. Takes a breath. I would too if I was serving in this environment. Good. My goodness. Goes down the line at McComber. Bauer. Sophia Callahan, all she does is finish sets. She did it earlier today, and she does it in set two, 25-10. So right now it's 50-21 BYU through the first two sets.
BYU just continuing to stay high level. Bauer doing an excellent job moving that ball around, and Sophia Callahan, the freshman again, comes in, not for too long, but she gets the job done every time. Set blocks were really the story, especially to start that out. Long Island trying to find some sort of offensive rhythm, but you've got this huge block in front of you, so you can't really ever get anything going.
This Long Island program has been to the NCAA tournament 3 of the last 6 years, so they know success. Big rival with Sacred Heart. Picked second in the league this year, and it'll be a fun race there in the NEC, the Northeast Conference. Ken Coe having a long conversation with his group. At a minimum, like we talked about, he wants to see his team perform better, but to feel this and work off of this, especially this early in the season, will be valuable in conference play.
Definitely. These teams, a lot of these players, we talked about this, their first introduction to Division I volleyball, and especially out west and at a high level at this environment. You've got to be able to learn so much from these matches that they can then take back and just take it a much higher level. And, you know, credit Ken Coe, he said, hey, we know we're going to come in and learn a lot, but that's why we're doing this.
And he's still going. We're still having that conversation. We've got 5 more seconds. Milk it all. Where will BYU finish at the end of the season? This is our latest question via Opine. Again, download the app, engage with us on the broadcast. Sweet 16 is kind of the standard for this program. Final 4, NCAA championship, first round. Elite 8 not an option, I guess. All good. Yeah, Sweet 16 to me is the minimum threshold for this team, given how I think this is team Elite 8 is kind of that spot for me.
Okay, but then to play devil's advocate a little bit, as
how
great
dare you.
as BYU is, this is a COVID year. We've got teams all over the country that
Loaded.
have people back that should have graduated.
It's
And so
true.
if you are a fan of volleyball, this is your year,
Oh,
right?
I am a fan of volleyball. This is going to be great.
So many fantastic teams. You know, you've got Wisconsin with Redke coming back, and on all sides, gosh, I'm in Wisconsin, you know, you've got players coming back as well. Players that really could move on and play professionally are just using this last year again
Amy,
for
fine.
one more time.
First round, fine. Just kidding.
I'm just saying it's going to be good volleyball.
You're right.
Across
It's loaded.
The country.
A lot of people came back. It's going to be a great season. Let's say Sweet 16 at least, right? Let's go. That would be nice. Win 2 games. Aaron Livingston starts it off right. Okay, I texted Sean Patchell, the new Long Island men's volleyball coach. I said, Long Island in the house tonight. He said, every week is Shark Week. Indeed it is. I love it. Kerber, 2-0. The way BYU's playing in this match and this crowd, this is going to be hard to overcome, obviously, for Long Island. As a big block from Kerber. But it's interesting to see how much can you develop culturally early in the season, physically. Like Heather Knighting probably won't play the rest of this match. She's 6 weeks off a mission. She needs to take it easy. She basically played a set and a half. I would agree with that mentality. Yeah, they've had conversation with her, try and make sure they don't go too hard too fast. Plus, listen, BYU's going to play ranked Pitt, Utah, San Diego, Pepperdine later in the season. There's a lot of big matches coming up.
Yeah, I think athlete management is going to be critical. And for BYU, I think culture is going to be so important for this team. You've got so much talent. You've got a huge squad with COVID year. You've got to keep a lot of different people progressing at a level where they can make an impact and help them to feel how good they are, right? Especially I'm looking at that opposite position, you know, with Kerber coming in, Kate Grimmer, such a fantastic player. Obviously, preseason, you know, all conference selection. She is an incredible offensive weapon. and she's been a terrific opposite and continues to be that. So how do you really manage all of this talent that BYU has and develop it and create that culture that can win?
I wish BYU had the winningest coach in college volleyball by percentage. Oh, wait, they do. Yes, that is the good news for Heather Olmstead and the staff, is an embarrassment of riches and trying to figure out the best way to use it. I don't even know if Ballard Nixon touched that. She didn't have to, I think.
I think she was smart because reaching over the net, she would have been called for over.
Yeah.
So she did a nice job to keep it on her side and just kind of punch it down a little bit, allow gravity to do its thing.
Yep. BYU will take on UNLV tomorrow. UNLV went to the NCAA tournament. But their best player, Marina Hayden, who's led the country in ace per set, is out. Didn't play this morning. We'll find out more tomorrow, but if she doesn't play for the Rebels, that's a big loss as Kerber crushes it through the block, 6-1. So after that, in terms of like, okay, BYU with that, you know, real challenge. Michigan, Weber State coming in next week, who won or is the Big Sky preseason #1. You got Michigan State coming in as well, and then BYU goes to Pittsburgh and plays Bowling Green and then 9th-ranked Pitt. That is going to be a massive match and a kind of litmus test.
Yeah, definitely. Pitt, love watching them. They're really a team up and coming that has continued to be perennially good the past 5 years.
Ballard Nixon with another one. 7 for 9, no errors. How about that? Our scorebox sponsors, Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. 7-1. If you're a Shark fan, things are not going well. Got swept this morning. Put up 11 in 2 sets, and then right now it's been 22 points into 3 sets so far, make it 24. 7-2. But a young team that got some experience in the NCAA tournament, as we mentioned. Sacred Heart couldn't go, had COVID issues. So this team got to go. So there are players on this team with NCAA tournament experience, hoping to win their league and go back again. Overpass, Berg. Look at Kerber, read it nicely. Ballard Nixon inside of the block. And how about Kenzie Kerber with some ridiculous assists today?
Yeah. Oh, she's not afraid to get after it, right? Running back, she's going to put you tight on the net, get that ball up. Saw Maddie Allen as well. It's very tough to set that ball, you know, with your arms behind your head and space it on the net in the right way.
Blocked, but then into the net for Makura. 9-2.
And obviously the frustration from Long Island, you know, it's hard to play in those 3 matches and really continue to work and fight. But you've got to credit BYU for not opening the door. They've really just continued to keep that pressure on, and it's been relentless.
Yeah, that pedal's been down. Ellie Murray's on the set now. Kerber off the block and out. Kerber 9 for 17. Hitting north of 500, so it's going really well. Taylon Ballard Nixon, 8 for 10. No errors, so 800, not bad. In fact, it's good. Now, you're seeing the hands in front of the camera. This is both a good and bad thing. Bad because it's, you know, getting in your view, but good because it means there's a gajillion people in this building. I'm excited to see what the attendance is. I'll pass it along if I get that. It's got to be 4,000 plus. This is a great night here.
Yeah, tremendous crowd, and you can tell the team just really feeding off that. I think everyone just not realizing just how much they miss this, right? Yep. Like, it's so great to be together and to be able to cheer on teams playing high-level volleyball.
Kerber goes out, Abby Dayton comes in, 10-3. So that'll be it for Kerber tonight, you'd think, and then Dayton gets aced. Looking at Allen like, was that you or me?
There's that seams, right? We talked about it earlier. Serve seams. It doesn't have to be fantastic, but make them talk.
Ainsley Malice into the net after the ace. (11-4) for Taylon Ballard Nixon.
And Elise Stoll in, another freshman for BYU.
Her first appearance after not playing earlier today.
And Elise's father, Rob, played on the men's team back in the day.
Got some touch and gets the kill. Now, Rob Stoll, the late 2000s guy.
No.
A different Rob,
It's a
right?
different
Okay,
Rob,
just checking,
yeah.
because I was like, there's no way that's there were 2 Rob Stoles.
Yeah.
Which I think they're related, are they not?
Yeah, I think so, but I think the later one they say Robbie. You're Robbie.
Yes,
I'm Rob. I'm
yeah.
older.
He was Robbie pre-mission, and then he graduated to Rob later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, Rob Stoll is
in the bloodline.
late 80s, maybe early 90s.
Yeah. Rob's like, both Robs are like, yes?
I think, yeah.
Hello?
I'll claim Elise.
Yeah, 13-4. And that'll be interesting, too, this year is how much are we going to see the freshmen at all? Because you've got this super veteran group as Stoll goes into the net. There's not going to be as many opportunities, per se, with a group like this. It's more like next year after you lose Kerber, Eschenberg, and Ballard-Nixon.
Right, and I think every team in the country is going to struggle with this because they have these inflated rosters where
Yep.
you've got, you know, upwards of 20 people. But I think the benefit is, look at these young players who they get to learn from for a whole year,
Yeah.
day in and day out in practices.
And a big block that time. Again, it's rumor roulette, and it's 13-6, so Long Island kind of climbing back into this thing, still down 7. They're playing a little bit better after BYU empties the bench a little bit. Should mention that Gretchen Reinert is a senior that will be gone after this year as well. Down the line for Larinus, nice dig from Scott. Then Strongman is blocked by Larinus. Now Larinus is an interesting story. There are 2 players from BYU whose names are in the transfer portal, but they're playing this year. Typically when that happens, it's like, nah, sorry, you're not playing for us. But it's Larinus and it's Hifo. So after this year, perhaps on other teams, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll go. It just means they're, like on LinkedIn, open to work.
Well, and I think COVID has just changed so much of the environment with sports in general.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting to see if it recovers and goes back to pre-COVID or if it's changed completely.
Elise Stoll, the freshman from Yorba Linda, number 9 overall prospect from prepvolleyball.com. A massive prospect, getting the kill. Elise with it, 15-6. Brigham Young in set 3 from tonight. And join us tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, BYU and UNLV. A little old Mountain West rivalry. Rebels and Cougars tomorrow night as we finish up the doTERRA Classic here in Provo. What a start to the season so far for BYU, a sweep of Southern Utah, and Cougars playing really well here tonight against Long Island out of Brooklyn, New York. The smack. They high five or something? What just happened? Off the block. There's Dayton. Over to Bauer. Eschenberg. Yep. 16-6. I won't be surprised if this is 4,500 in here. I mean, a 5,000 is like nuts. You kind of need to get into the nether regions in the camera upper left as you guys see it. But, man, this is a great crowd in here tonight. Really special night. Great to see everyone out here supporting this amazing women's volleyball team. Curled over and then into the antenna from Stekovich. The timing off there a little bit. And now BYU just 8 points away. Timeout, Ken Coe and the Sharks. We'll step aside. We got bills to pay. BYU up 17-6 in Provo.
Right?
Okay, tonight's attendance. You ready? You ready? 4,823. Woo!
That's amazing.
So good. Overpass, Eschenberg. Good night. Now it's just mean. BYU just dominating. It is a party in Provo, and that's saying something.
Well, and you see the BYU, because they've been able to continue to play at a high level, that allows multiple players to get in the match and have this experience, get some reps on the floor, get comfortable.
Blocked initially by Stoll. Stoll cross court, Scott with the dig. Stekovich, and then hit by Lopez. Stoll off the block and down. Now 48-23, where does that rank in BYU history, you say at home? 6th all time. Pretty good.
Seriously.
Not bad. And in 2018, guess what? Those are all the top 5. All from 2018. So if we take out 2018, it's the most attended game in Smithfield House ever. Pretty good.
Yeah, good job, freshman.
Good job, freshman. Don't walk on the grass.
Yeah.
19-6. Set to nobody. There's been a few of those tonight. The connection, the disconnection, I guess, will need to be worked on.
Right,
there.
it's a reminder that,
Yep.
oh yeah, it is August. It's still preseason. It's still just the second match for both of these teams.
20-6, timeout Kenco. And Stoll gets the love. What's the most exciting play in volleyball? What's your opinion of this? They just announced the number to the crowd, by the way.
That's a good one. You know what feels better as a player or watching? I think is very different.
Both.
You know what is interesting? Sometimes the best for me feeling was a great dig, because it almost was like,
As a middle blocker?
well, and I'm so old, I didn't get liberoed out. I was a primary passer. I stayed
You were
in
6 rotations?
defensively. Yeah.
Look at you.
And so I think to just dig a ball and steal something from someone, like their best swing, kind of felt,
Okay.
that feels pretty good.
For me, it's a big block.
Yeah.
Play of the match is brought to you by eAssist Dental Health Education Foundation, reminding you dental cleanings are essential for your health. Taylor Hefo dives for this dig, and it is just stupid awesome. And then Maddie Allen puts it over, and then BYU finishes this play. That was incredible.
Yeah, and to finish with a block, I mean, this huge crowd, that was absolutely nuts.
And then right here, boom. You got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. 6th largest crowd in Smithfield House history for BYU women's volleyball. Pretty good. Pretty good. What's it going to be for Utah, man?
Right.
September 16th.
Oh, man.
Put that in your Franklin planner. Let's go.
Yeah, that, I think you want to get here way early for that one.
I'm getting here early. Whitney Larenus, BYU up 20-6. Sharks are just going to burn the game film from this one. That never crossed. Given to Long Island. Oh.
And I think that's what is BYU. Is it worth a challenge, or did you just go? Just keep going.
Yeah. I don't mind if Heather umps the challenges here, and she will. You're playing to play. You're not giving freebies. Does that ever hit Whitney Bauer's elbow? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think based on how it bounced, but I think it's just really tricky to figure out that it wasn't anything in her.
This will be the look. Does it hit her elbow up top? Ooh, I think it must. Well, does it bang the antenna?
I think we're going to agree that it's 99% net, right? But
yes,
if it even hits her, then it's not going to, that's going to be her.
It gets her.
Yeah.
That gets her. Yeah, okay, good, clear look there. Awesome. That tells us, yep, and then right here. Well, that other one was definitive to me. You look at that one, you go, oh, that clearly hit her. Yeah. So this should be Long Island's point. Why did Coach really challenge? Release the players, slow opponent's momentum, close enough to view. Why not? Given to Long Island. That is the correct call. Well done. Now, I did tell Kayleen Craig in there, may your reviews be swift. And they have been.
They've
done a nice job.
Yeah.
When they take a long time, I'm like, hey, what are you seeing that you didn't see the first time? Let's go.
Well, it's hard because you want to get it right.
Correct.
Right? Like you
can't take all that.
You challenge for a reason. You want to make sure it's correct. But yes, especially given just the tempo and momentum killer. And just that it bothers you, Jerem.
Yes, literally because it bothers me, and I must be appeased, apparently. So with another one. Kate Grimmer into the match as well. Whitney Bauer will go back to serve. Listen to this crowd. Stekovich into your living room in HD. 21-7, Cougars up by 2 touchdowns. Blocked by Grimmer. Reset, out of sorts. Here's Bauer, Maddie Allen. Stoll inside, says to tip it over. Back set slide for Strongman. Stoll, dig by Lopez. Pushed outside, blocked by Kate Grimmer, first team all-conference Oppo last year. Lopez, good swing out of system. Eschenberg is blocked, tapped back up by Roulet. Long rally here again. Grimmer. Kate Grimmer finishes things 22-7.
Long rally, and Grimmer shows just the type of range she has, a lefty as well, and she can really get on a ball quickly. And so because she's got that big seam in the block, she can use that huge cannon of an arm to attack it fast.
Bauer has a couple of aces tonight. Pushed outside off the net, dug up by Allen. That's the stop block. Gretchen Reinert into the net from Stoll. But this is when you want to give those freshmen some time. Not every match is going to be, we're in the 20s, the other team's not in the teens quite yet.
Yeah, and playing in front of this type of crowd, just what a great environment to work it out. And the great thing about being a freshman, especially a freshman outside, your whole job is just to swing, right? There's not huge expectations. Just go out and learn the game and swing away.
Swing away, Merrill. Kennedy Eschenberg, 23-8. We should mention that Taylor Ballard-Nixon's 8 for 10 hitting 800 is the 7th best hitting percentage in the rally era, minimum 10 attempts by BYU play. So, excellent night. Kind of low-ish volume, but the efficiency crazy high.
Yeah, and
8 for 10, you'll take it.
A great day in general. I mean, she was consistent in the first set as well.
22 kills today in 6 sets. You'll take that. Stekovic.
I think the block for BYU just moving to get outside, but they're so early on the block that they're on their way down and they're getting tooled because Long Island chooses to jump and then swing a little bit slower.
Stekovic trying to get it done here from the service line, extend this thing out. 7 kills on 31 swings, 8 errors. Been a tough night. Eschenberg, one high. Pushed outside. And Callahan. Now wait a minute, that didn't end a set. What's up with that?
She needs one more.
It sets up match point. Go back to her. 24-9 in front of the 6th largest crowd in BYU home women's volleyball history in this venue. Here we go. Maddie Allen. Gets them out of system. Lopez with the bump set. BYU with a chance to end the match and get the sweep. Kate Grimmer does so, and BYU beats up on Long Island. 30 points allowed in this set, in this match against the Sharks, and BYU is 2-0. Getting ready for UNLV tomorrow night, 9 Eastern on BYU TV.
And if that's how BYU plays with a crowd, then wow, great show on both accounts. I think BYU came in and played very, very tough all the way around. Didn't really